Here Comes the Bus is an app that I use every day, probably 4 times a day, that tracks the bus that my children are ride on, and so I know exactly where they are pretty much at all times.
So I mostly use it in the afternoons when my kids are coming home from school so that I can see what time they're going to be there. I get a notice that the bus is in the radius, and then I know to expect my kids should be walking through the door in the next 5 minutes or so. It gives me a little peace of mind because this is the first year my second graders are allowed to walk home from the bus stop by themselves, and so I know exactly when they should be coming into my house.
My name is Shannon Anderson, and I currently have a 5th grader at Cedar Fork Elementary.
And my name is Debbie Keelan Fuller, and I have a 6th grader at West Cary, and I have 2 2nd graders here at Cedar Fork.
I use the app in the morning, for both of my children. I have a son at middle school, and we know when his bus is coming, so we do not have to stand out in the cold waiting for it for 20 minutes or more. We know exactly when it's coming. We walk to the bus stop, he gets on, and I come home, and then the same thing with my daughter. We know exactly when it's going to be there because I check it out on the map and see where it's going to be.
This is the app that I use, and I can just go in and see where my kids' bus is at any time, and I have my kids plugged in, different kids plugged in, so I can switch between my kids to see where their bus is.
I do get notifications, a little thing that pops up on my home screen that says, bus 1451 has entered the radius, your child should be getting off anytime. And I know if it's running a little bit late, or if I'm out and I need to know what time I need to be home, I will check the map and see exactly where it is and adjust my schedule for that.
It is right here on my phone, so I just downloaded the app just like you would download any other app, plugged the number in for the Wake County District, and then put my kids in, and then I can follow them around where their bus is at any time.
Well, about 5 minutes before I'm typically used to it coming, I'll check my app, and especially for my daughter. She's the one that's a little bit more trouble getting ready in the morning.
I believe I got a flyer from Cedar Fork saying, "Here comes the bus, download it," and so I downloaded it and put my kids in, and it was really easy to use, so I've relied on it ever since.
Yes, when I heard that the app was coming down the pike, I was very excited. Just because I like to know, I'm just one who likes to know things. I downloaded it from my app store. I had absolutely no problems, and I am not the most tech savvy person, but if I can do it, I feel like anyone can. I did it. I put both my children in. They're at 2 different schools, and it was just very easy to do. I just needed their student ID number.
I just think it's a time saver for parents. It's a time saver for the administration who don't have to then plug in the tweets when the kids are leaving from school. And I like to use it because then I can see where their bus is in real time.
If you want to save yourself some time, it is absolutely worth it. It's free. It was easy. I just like to know where my kids are. So I find it well worth my 5 minutes it took to download.
Yeah, and I would agree. I think it's an easy app to use. I would just encourage parents to try it and see if it works for them. I think they'll find that it actually is wonderful because you know where your kids are at any moment. You know where their bus is. You don't have to worry about what's going on in between the school and when they get home.